This probably would have been my campsite tonight, but it looks like we're in for a hectic storm right here. And I'm not really enjoying this dry, arid 40-degree heat anyway, so I'm going to take it as the final sign that I don't need to go slow through the dry part of it, and I can just like speed it up a little bit and get to the coast and get to the ocean, go for a swim at the beach. That's what I'm craving. Probably still won't get there for ages, but there'll be fresh water once I get across the Queensland border, for sure. I really want to, like, just the main reason I want to go for a swim is to feel fresh and clean. I nearly checked into the Barclay Roadhouse. I probably would have, but they were booked up full. They had campsites, but I was like, well, I don't know. They probably had shared amenities because they're a caravan park. I could always go back. No, I've come too far. I'm going forward. I'm not turning back. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm already tired. The pigeons always sound like people going, woo, or something. Like a bunch of different birds and creatures, and the way the wind blows through rocks and stuff sounds like human voices when you haven't been around people that much. Or maybe it's just country speaking to me. Maybe I actually am hearing shit. Yeah. I'm going to be a different person as soon as I go for a swim, as soon as I immerse myself in water. I've had like, there's like been water, there's actually water here even. I will give myself, like bathe myself a little bit, but it's like hot tank water. Or like even the showers at the campsites and stuff are like tank water, and it's like sitting in the sun all day. So it's like the hottest shower I've ever had. Like, remember back home, our hot water would run out pretty quick, and that would be the thing that we complain about. Now, the only thing that I want is a cold shower. It's like, oh man. I saw a sign actually, like not long ago. So in the hottest part of Australia, and the only thing that they were advertising, like to get you to go there, was hot showers. And I was like, you're fucking kidding. But I was just talking to some locals, and they said it gets really cold here in the winter. So again, I'm just like here at the most stupid time. And that's why everything is like so hectic. Yeah. Well, I'm obviously not going to do this right now because I don't want to wet another microphone and break it. But like, even if I come at a better time of year, this is a water hole. This is a place where you could get wet and swim. I will never complain that a swimming hole is like inadequate after this trip. Like the muddiest, dirtiest, yuckiest swimming hole, I'll be all over that shit. I'll just be grateful to be wet when it's hot after this trip. I'll never complain about not having hot water again. I'll never complain about anything again, I'm pretty sure. Oh man, check these out. They get bigger. That's a small one. They're like real fucking tough. They're like, you know, most bindies. They've got a bit of give to them, but those things are rock solid. It's like standing on a piece of glass with like multiple. Oh, they're everywhere too. Where do they come from? Where do they come from? Do they grow like grass? Like they just self-sufficiently put themselves in the earth so that they can break your feet? Oh. There's another one. I gotta stand still maybe. Oh no, that's just... Oh, and they dislodge like parts of themselves into you, and then it's really hard to get them out. That's what's happened. It's okay, I have tea tree oil. That will help. If I have to like use my knife. I have disinfectant. It won't come to that. I'm being dramatic. I'm being ridiculously dramatic. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's just a huge supercell building over where I want to sleep. It's 40 degrees and there is no water anywhere. It's fine. It's relative, eh? Like some people in this situation would be completely fucked. I saw 2 young girls actually today. They were like foreigners speaking French or German. I should know which is which because I've learned both. But I wasn't really paying that much attention. And they pulled up at one of these kind of rest stops. I was just like chucking a piss. And yeah, they got out and they put on like hats that had like mozzie nets hanging off them. So they were like, their bodies were like protected from the flies. And they got out of the car and they quickly made themselves like some sandwiches and shit. And then they got back in the car and turned it on and ate their sandwiches in the aircon. And like the whole time they were out of the car, they had to have their mozzie nets on. And then when they had to eat their food in the aircon, and they quickly got out to like put their rubbish in the bin and then jumped back in the aircon and off they went. So they're not seeing a whole lot of Australia. They're seeing the inside of their four-wheel drive in the aircon. No judgment, but I'm just saying it's relative. Like some people in this situation, they would be like, whoa, that's so hectic. And some people would be like judging me, like, what are you bitching about? This is easy. This is like a normal day, like the locals back there at Barclay that I was chatting to. They wouldn't care. I like sat down next to them. Like it was in the shade, but the concrete that they were sitting on mustn't have been in the shade for long, and it was burning my legs, and I had to sit on my thongs, and then they're like laughing at me and shit. Like, but they're like, it is hot. You just like gotta sit there long enough for your butt to take all the heat that's radiating out of the earth, and then you'll be able to relax. Just don't move around too much. Yeah, it's all relative. That's a new thing. Like I'm repeating myself a little bit. It's like what comedians do to keep track of where they're at with their jokes, I reckon. Like they just like repeat a phrase or something. Like, oh yeah, this is what the joke's actually about. I need to remember this phrase because this is where the punchline is gonna come. I don't have a punchline. There is no joke. I'm not gonna entertain you right now with some really cool shit. I'm just here being a person. That's what this show is, by the way. This is just a dude being a person in the world. And the dude, who is me, is really crazy, doesn't fit in anywhere, and has had a bucket load of traumatic experiences and is trying to, just find a place in society for himself that makes sense for him. Man, that's trippy talking like that. Yeah, fuck. I don't know what I'm doing. It's so weird to me. I do know what I'm doing, but I don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing, but I have this constant nagging shit in my head that's like, oh, you just made all this up. Like, I guess I didn't make up my qualifications and stuff. That's all real. But like my idea of what I'm going to do with my life is like really unique and original, which is cool. But also it's like no one's ever done this. So this plan might not work. Like all this stuff that you're dreaming up for yourself. Like you're going to be the one to like live that. But of course, someone has to fucking do that shit. Otherwise everyone will be the same. And everybody like, there's got to be at least a small percentage of human beings who don't follow any instructions at all and just like start imagining new cool shit. Of course, you're always going to be using models and things that already exist. Like I've got my qualifications and I'm a part of like everything. but I want to create something new. It's going to be made out of everything else that's already here. So it's still going to be compatible with the Matrix because it's of the Matrix. Like, we all fucking live here. We all exist in this world, and we're all programmed with the same or similar beliefs depending on where in the world you're born. And wherever you're born in the world, you're programmed with the beliefs and assumptions and teachings and everything that you need to function in that society. Maybe I just need to move to a new society, like a totally different society where the way that I am and everything that isn't compatible with the society that I grew up in just makes sense. Like, maybe that's what I'm looking for. Like, it just, yeah, I don't know. A lot of I don't know. I am sure. I'm trying to be sure. I am sure. I do know. I say I don't know, but I know exactly what I'm doing. It's just like background doubt. It's not foreground. It's not like my main thoughts. It's just emerging right now in the present moment. It's in there, but it's not dominant. I know what I'm doing. I know what I need to do. I know what I've done. I know the mistakes I've made, and I know the consequences for those mistakes. I know the choices that I've made based on the consequences and the learning and lessons from those consequences. Now, I'm gonna do some epic shit. Now just imagine, like, we don't have the money, the budget right now to edit in, but to just imagine a montage of like all of the cool, crazy shit that I've seen. Actually, just to like go watch the video on the main channel, which is called Get Lost and Find Yourself. And then just like imagine that in here, except 100,000 times cooler because there's been so much more going on and I haven't filmed any of it. Because I'm just like flat out doing this and planning my future. I hope that this is like in some way beneficial. If it is, let me know how in the comments below. Click the like button for me. Subscribe if you haven't already. I always try to remember to remind people that that is really helpful. It helps the channel grow. It helps this show, this weird story that we're doing together. Well, I'm kind of doing it. I'm telling this weird story and you are the audience. But actually it's quite interactive. A lot of people who watch the content are also involved in influencing me because we talk in the comments and messages and even calls, video calls. And yeah, it's a whole thing. Like, the community is alive and it's active and we're all doing this together in a way. But like, for the most part, it's just a crazy dude talking into a lens about all this madness. So thank you is what I was trying to say, and I'll see you very shortly.